Hello, and welcome to Manga Mommies.
A podcast where we chat about, you guessed it, mangas, and occasionally our lives as parents.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Kyo,
And I'm Kel.
and we are your host on the show. We hope you're having a great Monday. So please, would you kindly get a drink, take a seat, and let's chat?
Welcome back, everyone, to the last episode of season 1. Dun dun dun.
Ooh. It's not spoopy season. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry.
It's better than we were doing a minute ago. Wow. It seems like yesterday we were starting and stumbling on our words so hard that back recording, I just wanted to toss it all out the window and say, fuck it, and just throw in the towel.
And now it's today, and we're 4 minutes into this recording, and we want to do the same thing, and we haven't even attempted Japanese.
Oh,
It's going to be a good episode.
it's gonna be a great one. We've had some shit going on, guys. Just some shit going on.
Hi, Kyo from the editing room here. What I just said and what we will be saying now pretty much sums up how our week has been. Mostly for the month. Yeah, so the audio is going to be a little funky. It may be for you, it may not be. We don't know. We will find out. Woo, it's in the air. Until then, I hope everyone does enjoy it, and I do apologize for anything that may come through that sounds a little wonky. Again, 100% my fault, not my co-host Kel's fault. A lot of stuff happened. So, good luck, and well, let's get back to it.
At least you're getting this.
Oh, I'm so glad that this is the last episode of season 1, which means that you don't get to see my face right now because, oh, good gracious.
Yeah, but just think, season 2 starts, you will see your face.
I will be slightly more mentally prepared for that.
I'm dreading it, to be honest with you.
Been a long month.
Oh, it has. I'm tired.
Well, what is our final episode of season 1 going to be about, Kyo?
Unicorns.
And rainbows and sunshine and cotton candy and
I was waiting for you to go like, what? Like, you looking over your calendar like, bitch, that ain't till season 8. There's got to be a manga out there called Rainbow. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sure there is a manga that would be unhinged enough for both of us right now.
Ugh, sure we're not in one?
If we are, the narrator sucks.
Oh, that narrator would be me.
I rest my case. This month has not been fun. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Yeah, do not. Between everything going on in our personal lives and then the TikTok ban that happened for 12 hours, and then I'm just like, why did it come back? But apparently my phone is worth a shit ton of money for still having TikTok, because TikTok's actually not in the shop here anymore.
Nope.
Still.
I had a few friends that were like, I can't even re-add it. Like, well,
Yeah.
good luck.
Hubs was telling me that the other day. He was just like, look, your phone's worth a lot of money because you have it on there. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, well.
I did that sweet goodbye. I was turning it all over to you. Now they think you're probably made up. You're never on there because I pretty much control everything, even though you have the ability to go on there. I'm not gatekeeper on it.
No, you just have much more free time than I do currently.
Yeah, at like 4 a.m. when I'm laying there going, well, eventually he'll go to sleep. We sounded wrong. I meant my kids.
So I know it's been a month, but we had promised that we would do our final manga of the month review for season 1.
Can't believe I made that promise. I'm regretting that promise.
Oh, it's not that bad.
I mean, it's not. I've had all of my ideas and thoughts and hopes and dreams and own punishments written out for like a minute now, but that's beside the point, man. But yeah, no, today's episode is Spice and Wolf review. Yay! For Jane Manga of the Month!
Tiny claps.
Oh my god!
So, just a brief recap since it has been a month. Let me just pull it up here because I scrolled too far.
Lord.
We're good. Spice and Wolf was written by Isuna Hasekura. It was illustrated by Kaito Kume. It is a seinen. It is classified further with adventure, fantasy, and romance, and it is published by Yen Press. The original run was from September 2007 to December of 2017, with the sequel Wolf and Parchment, A New Theory of Spice and Wolf, running from about May 2019 to present, and it currently has a couple of volumes. The original run has 16 volumes. This also has a light novel, an anime, several video games released under Nintendo for both the computer, the Switch, the PlayStation, and the Oculus. So Spice and Wolf's story revolves around Kraft Lawrence, who's a 25-year-old traveling merchant who peddles various goods from town to town to make a living. He ends up stopping one night in a town called Paslow, and he finds in his wagon this beautiful wolf deity named Hollow, who's over 600 years old. She takes the form of about a 15 to 17-year-old girl in looks, except for the wolf ears and tail. She introduces herself as the town's goddess of harvest, who has kept it blessed with good harvests of wheat for many years. Hollow has experienced increasing isolation and disillusionment at the townspeople's move away from her protection towards their own methods of increasing the harvest. She wants to travel and see the world, and, once Lawrence accidentally frees her from being bound to the village, she manages to bargain her way by making a deal with him so that he takes her with him. There's this whole other story about sort of the attention from the church, who are basically like anti-magic, anti-pagan, and they're trying to avoid the church as well. So they have a lot of interesting adventures. So what did you think about the manga, Kyo?
Well, first impressions of anything. I love the artwork and the details within the artwork. I can see personally why there is a great fandom behind it, besides what I originally thought. My first impressions get the better of me, and then I originally refused to read it for so many years when it actually out. Now that I've read it, I kind of feel bad about it. So I get why they were so fanboyant about it.
Yeah, I mean, I found that it has sort of this really wholesome story considering where it could have gone. There were quite a few instances in it where I was like, ooh, is that going to end up somewhere lewd and lascivious and just, all kinds of gross? And it doesn't. It stays pretty wholesome considering.
Well, yeah, I did like how they moved from being friends to lovers through the plot, of not only her learning his trade and traveling, but also gaining that honest friendship that really doesn't come with the trade. For him, he actually gets that. So, giving most about being traveling salesperson or merchant in sometimes it could be a con or the sell of the item, highest coin. So you can see where this kind of lifestyle came south very quickly. And a spoiler slash not really considering when it came out. But they do get married at the end.
Yay! Happy ending.
Yeah, so I did learn about the adaptation of the light novels that goes a little bit further into like 15 years after their marriage. So like there's still no sex. It's implied because they did have a daughter, which, that is with the new manga, the adaptation that has the two currently out that you were talking about, Kells. So
Yeah, the
yay.
Wolf and Parchment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really interested after reading through this and then doing my research on, the light novels and watching the anime. That I'm really interested to read the light novels about it because they go into so much more detail than the manga has, and it would be interesting to see it kind of built up in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, from my understanding, the light novels are pretty lengthy. So
Yes.
maybe one day I'll get there.
Maybe it's on an audiobook somewhere and you can just listen to it and then freak out when weird stuff happens.
Or show absolutely zero reaction whatsoever, because usually I'm listening to lewd and lascivious things, while I'm working. But yeah, so like I do like that Hollow does get her family and she does seem genuinely happy. I also really like the art style. Even though the nudity in some parts of it was a little odd to me, like why she was so depictedly nude.
Yeah, that's a con of mine.
Yeah.
That is one issue. Especially in volume 1. It is minor, but it still was like, it comes at you kind of left field. But like the first time he actually sees her when he pulls, I don't remember if he pulls it off or if she kind of pulls off the sheet that's on her. And it's immediately a full color sheet of completely nude from head to toe with detail. And I mean detail for her to be, how old was she again? Like,
well, I mean, she's 600, but she's depicted to be between 15 and 17. as
Right. So
far
she's
as
depicted to be between that. Yeah, and she's technically old as shit, but
it's
but
that
not
moral gray
physically. And
area.
that yeah, and physically it's what bothered me. So like I don't know if the color change where it went from black and white to an actual color page, which I think is the only color page. I may be wrong from what I remember reading.
Yeah,
So
I can't recall.
for me, it's like, was there a point to this? Is it, his first impression from like my life being gray to, oh, she brought color because she's so pretty to be a wolf? Which also gets me is that everyone wants to call her a fox outside, like in the fandom and outside, they're all like, oh, she's a fox, she's a fox. And that's what threw me off too when I was reading it. I was like, it's all saying wolf girl.
Yeah, I think it's because the way that she was drawn is very similar to like the kitsune fox style deities within Japanese culture. So I think that's why a lot of people say it that way is she more resembles a fox because of that connotation. But I find like to a degree the nudity almost seems a little fan servicey. Like it sort of jumps out at you for no real reason in the plot. Like she could have had on basic clothing or been
Yeah, and like I'm
semi-clothed
not
or
knocking
something.
it like, oh my god, don't read it because there's nudity. Please, I've read Berserk. I have seen some shit. But I'm saying, like, Berserk, oh, you open up the first page and there's an entire sex scene, but that's a whole other story with a demon. It's a whole thing. But this, it's more of like, for me, it was, what's the symbolism in it? Was it love at first sight? Is that what I'm seeing here with the whole depiction from black and white to color? Did it really need to be a color page? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Maybe you can explain it better to me because I would love to learn if there was symbolism or it was just off the wall thing
Yeah.
to thought.
Like I'm firmly in the this is a fan service camp over here, like with it being full color, full graphic depiction, with so much detail. It's like it kind of feels like almost like a shock value to bring you into the manga if, they're throwing fan service that graphic that right away. Because to me, anytime that she was kind of naked, she really didn't need to be because it wasn't like it was reflective of the storyline at the time. It wouldn't have
Yeah,
made a difference if
like
she was nude or if she was clothed. And like, I'm not a prude about it by all means. But it didn't seem like there was a reason for it. It wasn't like, he walked in on her in the shower or something where she's very clearly nude and it's this whole awkward bathroom scene. It was like, yeah, like he pulls the tarp off his wagon and she's just nude there. It's like,
yeah,
okay, but she could have been clothed. Like she's been around long enough to know what people are and probably that they don't generally walk around in public naked.
yeah.
So I
So
mean, there
like,
was that.
and then like the next time she's technically nude in front of him, and he gets nude too, which I'm assuming was an innuendo. But it was more of like, oh, they both got wet in the rain. Like it made sense that they had to strip down to get dry. So like for me, that made. But I was like, what is this symbolism? It has to be something there for it to be there for me. And I'm like, is it symbolism? Is it just for fan service? Because granted, I can get the fan service because it totally makes sense now why the people who are dead to me in real life. I don't know why I said real life, but in real life, I'm sticking with it now. I'm sticking with it. That I knew went crazy over this manga, or mostly went crazy over the female character, being a wolf girl. Of like, with their age and from back then when they read it, it just makes sense now. All the factors make sense. Again, can't stress this enough. What I said before in the last session makes sense after I read it because I was like, what is going on? Is it a constant theft? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Other comment I have: churches. Churches, you do not have to burn someone that you don't like at the stake. It doesn't answer everything, nor will it solve your problems with your harvest. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Right?
God.
Like I wasn't even gonna touch on the whole like fanatical church thing too much because it just like
Well, it doesn't even like, it doesn't brush on it hard. It's like random. Oh, we're backstabbing you to get her because the church is gonna pay us so we can make an example. And I'm like, why? What's the example? Like it, me, it didn't tired. It was just some random things like, oh, we haven't had like a fight scene. Woo, let's do this. So
Yeah, and then there's, me that because it's so sporadic and random throughout the manga, it just re-triggers the religious trauma every single time because it's like, oh, I can forget about it. And then they're doing this and this and this in the church. And to me, it is a weird depiction. And I realize that this is a very niche thing to say, but it almost seems like that one teacher in Fairly Odd Parents screaming about fairy godparents is kind of how the church
yeah.
just pops in, where, the guy's like, fairy godparents. Except it's, church is bad. And it's like, whoa, okay, calm down. Shit, okay, calm down. Whoa. And then it's just like, you just move on from it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, fairy godparents. And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the idea of the shock value. But like I said, you don't have to burn someone at the stake just because you don't like the answer. It's not the end of the world. People can have opinions, and
But I mean,
uh,
I got all the firewood.
well, it's great. It's been cold. I've been very upset about it being cold lately. I'm from the south. We're not supposed to get some of this crap.
No, hell's freezing over. You guys got snow.
Jeez, twice, and they're calling it again this week, and I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting like, I don't know, somewhere around 5 inches tonight, but we'll see if it happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's too
send me a
dark
picture if
outside.
you do. Yeah, I tried.
As far as like, the preference with this one, I think having watched the anime, having somewhat read about the light novels, and then reading the manga, I like the story, but I think I prefer almost the anime version of it better just because I found like it flowed a lot better and there was a lot more symmetry to it. It didn't seem so push and pull like the manga does.
Yeah.
Personally. But it is lighthearted. I still really enjoyed it regardless.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked how it flowed. I liked the art style. I liked all that. It's one minor issue I have. It's more of like the question of why. And I hope someone can answer me and not be a dick. Well, if you understood.
Well, I'm trying to understand. Make it easy.
You
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is the end of season 1. I can't believe we got through a season 1. There's still people listening.
Technically, we never had to end season 1, but I figured it'd make a little more sense than it's randomly jumping to video.
It was nice to have the month break. There's been a lot going on in my personal life that at first I was like, "Oh, a break, we can get ahead on some stuff. Everything's going to be great." And it's been like insane. The first few episodes, kind of like in season 1 where we were just awkward as hell, can be just as awkward in season 2, but you get to see our face.
Oh god, I'm not waiting for that. I'm not ready.
It'll be fine.
I know.
I do hope that everybody did enjoy season 1. And we have a whole new set of chaotic topics to talk about in season 2, including fun little quizzes for things like, do you think you're a weep or an otaku?
Oh god. I keep forgetting about that, and then you bring it up. It's not fair.
It's funny though. Yeah, is there anything else we want to say?
Not really. It's just been a wild ride, and see y'all in season 2, and until then, see you next time.
Hasta luego.
Whatever that meant.
I don't know what weird people used to say goodbye to me with.
You and your Canadian speak.
We'll see you later there, eh?
Oh god, no. No. Cut it off. The end. I can't do it.
If you made it this far in the episode, we want to say thank you. We couldn't do this without your support. If you'd like to subscribe and become an official Manga Mommies member, the link will be in the show notes. For Manga of the Month, the PDF, copy, or free website will be located below. If you feel up to it, like, subscribe, or share our podcast so we can find more people just like you. We hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever time that happens to be, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Stay tuned, and thanks for listening.